Okay, we're moving on now to create the two front legs of this chair. And the chair front legs, as we can see from our 2D design, are 40 millimeters in on their widest face, 30 millimeters in width, and 432.5 tall from the top of the side rail to the base of each item to the floor. So 432.5, remember that, and 40 by 30. Okay, so let's go back and let's do it. Now, some things are probably going to get in our way. We don't want to look at them all the time. So as you highlight them, you can see how they highlight on the side here on the menu bar. Let's just turn them off so that we're not looking at stuff that we're not interested in. So we're not interested in that, turn it off and disappears. Click on the little eye, you'll turn off that leg, and then we're going to, I think we'll leave this leg on here. Alright, so we're going to do a sketch on this surface over here. So let's highlight it with a sketch. So click on sketch, then let's say where do you want to sketch? I want to sketch on that surface, and now you're in 2D view, which is good. And we know that our leg is the same width as, well, the front leg is the same width as the rear leg. So we're going to create a 2-point rectangle. So that's it up there, or go to here, rectangle, 2-point rectangle, which means you select either vertex, the edges of the rectangle, and drag out. So select 2-point rectangle, start up in one corner, and we're going to drag across. Now I don't have to go to the end, because I'm going to tell it how far. Remember, it was 432.5. That was the length. So hit the tab key and you go to the vertical dimension, and that's 30, which is exactly correct. So hit enter. So what we've done here now, if you click on the fit button here, what we've done is we've created a shape which reflects the profile of the leg, and it's centered because we're modeling it top down. Okay, that's good. So now what we need to do is extrude that shape. So let's go to solid, extrude, select the shape. Now of course we also need to select the inner part in here. That's part of the shape. So hold the control key down and select it with your left key so you can select all of the blue shapes. They're all going to be extruded. We're creating a new body with this, which is important. So make sure you're not joining it, because if you join it, you'll join it to this, and then you won't have a different part. Fusion will think they're all the one part. That's not what you want to do, because you want to mirror this part later on, not the whole thing, because we've already got side rails. So make sure that it is a new body that you're doing. Okay, and then we're going to tell it to go upwards. And do you remember how thick it was? Yep, you're right, 40 millimeters. There you go, and click OK. See how it's changed to join? Be careful with that. That changed there by itself. It decided that it thought joining this rail to that, this front leg to that rail, that was the idea. Don't let it do that. Make sure it does new body. You'll have problems. You can separate them if you do happen to make that mistake. You can separate them, and I'll give you the little clue on how to do that. Go to modify, and then you'll have split face, and you can split the shape. But just avoid that for the moment. There's no need for it. So we just created a separate body. It's called body 5 here, and I'm going to rename it by just selecting it with the left button and right clicking, and I'm going to find the rename function. Always name your parts. I'm going to call it right front leg. Right front leg. It'll get confusing if you don't name them, so just get in a good habit of naming all your parts, and especially when you get a more complex design. Now we've got a problem here. We've got these through dowels. See if they've gone all the way through? We don't want that. So let's fix this up now. We're going to do another sketch, or better still, let's just go solid. Yeah. And we're going to click extrude, and now we're going to select these two little faces here, these areas that we want to, well, it'll say where do you want to extrude. I selected the major surface. I'm going to hold the control key down and select. Not going to let me, is it? Okay, if that ever happens, just hit escape. We want to do an extrude, so let's go just to solid, and we should be able to select that surface. Yeah, so create extrude, and let's see if we can select that rounded section where the dowel is. No, beg your pardon. Not so much. All right, so we need to be able to highlight this line. So I think what we'll do is create a sketch on this surface here. And then we're going to highlight this area in here. That's what we need. So select that, hold the control key down, select it again, and this time we're going to be able to extrude. So now I want to extrude, so solid, extrude, and then we want both of these surfaces to go down. And remember, the distance for each dowel is 40 millimeters overall, so halfway through is 20 millimeters. We want the dowel to be filled in 20 millimeters. Click enter. And now we've got that nice firm front that we wanted. Okay, next thing, let's go and do the movement to the side. We're going to create the dowels in from the side because we need to have dowels coming in this way to secure the front leg. Sorry, the front rail. Okay, so let's do those dowel holes. We're going to do a sketch. So create a sketch on this face this time. There it is. Now if it's in the wrong position, just get the pan handle and pull it down. Okay, here we go. And so now what we can see here, these are the two center lines for the slots, but the actual end points are the ends of these two horizontal lines. Because it's a curved surface, you don't see it as well. So I know that if I create a point, just go for a point, on the end of these lines, so one right there, one right there. Is this one right? No, not in the right spot. It's actually there. Okay. So I'm going to get out of point function. I'm going to highlight that point and I want to delete it. I don't want it there. Don't leave stuff hanging around that's not in the right spot. Now if I've done this right, that distance between these 2 points should be 20 millimeters. So let's just double check it from here. Get the dimensioning tool. It's 20 point. I'm going to make it 20. All right, 20 millimeters. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, let's go across here and do the same thing on the other side, because I'm going to use those 2 points as guide posts for my slot that I'm going to create to go into the center, so to fix on the front rail. So let's go in there now, drag it across a little bit so I can see the other section, and I'm going to place in here my other 2 points. Now the points are very important because just get in close if you need to so you can line them up. There you go. Go across here and line up there. Cool. And that should be 20 millimeters as well. So now let's go to our slot function, go down here to slot, and we're going to create an overall slot. Remember, overall took us from one end, click on it, to the other end, left mouse button, click drag out, and it's 6 millimeters, and that's our slot. Hit enter. Beautiful. And we're going to go down across to the other one, drag it. It's a bit annoying having to drag it, but we will. Same thing, create a slot. You could mirror those 2 slots if you set up a mirror plane like along this line in the middle, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to do them. Overall slot, one here, one there, and 6 millimeters. Done. All right, cool. So I'm panning back out now. We've created the 2 slots for the dowels that are going to go in from the side. Oh, that flipped up very quickly, didn't it? Okay, it's on this side here. There they are. Beautiful. All right, in there. Let's extrude those in by 20 millimeters. So we'll go solid, extrude, we'll select that section, control key this section, drag them in because we're going to be cutting, and we want to go in by -20 millimeters. Now you might find that you'll probably end up cutting into the dowel that's already sitting there from the side rail. Well, you know, there's a couple of ways around it. You can shorten one of the dowels if you want. You can miter them. There's all sorts of possibilities. But at this point in time, I'm just going to click OK, and I've got my legs set up in position. Okay, and it's just modeled nice and correctly. Let's make it fit so we can see. And now comes the beautiful, beautiful thing, because I'm going to turn on the other items that I've turned off there. I just switch them on by flicking on those eyes on the left. And now we're going to mirror, and that's why this center plane was so useful now. Because let's go to our mirror function. I think it's under create and mirror. There it is. Good. And it'll ask me, well, what do you want to mirror? And I'm going to select a body. And now I'm going to select this body here, that one. Now, had it been joined to this side rail, I would have been selecting both of them where I couldn't choose. And that would have been a pain, because I'm going to have two parts superimposed on top of each other, and that is not going to be good if you ever have to 3D print or do something like that with this model. So don't do that. Now I'm going to ask me for the mirror plane. I'm going to tell it this is a mirror plane, and look at that, it's just lobbied on there straight away. I click OK, and I've modeled my two legs in position. And now the next stage will just be to do the two side rails. And those two side rails are just simple, simple, simple to do. And I'll show you how to do those in the next video.